How would you say Africa or, this UN of people, how are they looking at America? Like, what was their lens? How did they see America? Sometimes it's hard for us to see
Yeah.
ourselves when we're,
Yeah, it
here in
depends.
it.
Each region of the world has a bit of a different opinion of America, I would say.
Hmm.
I would say most people viewed it positively on a whole. They didn't. A lot of the things that are brought out in the news, they're like, it seems like a scary place. There's always school shootings. There's always like, and then certain politicians get in power, and it seems like it gets even like crazier. And so, but I would say on the whole, the America is still viewed as a place of like opportunity, even though there was negative aspects about it, like whether it's a political thing or a serious thing like school shootings or something silly like fashion. Americans don't dress as nice as like Europeans on
Hmm.
average or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, we're always in athleisure wear, according to them. Like, even if it's like some negative opinion, they would all at least want to travel there and experience it. And a lot of them wanted to move there. A lot of them wanted their kids to go to school in America,
Hmm.
depending on like across the board. So there was I never ran into anyone who was like staunchly opposed or staunchly like against America as a whole,
Hmm.
because conceptually what it represents is a very good thing. It's
Yeah.
it's 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 a land where, a lot of land of opportunity. So
Jumping in here to tell you guys about Pocono Organics, one of the largest regenerative organic vegetable farms in North America. And they grow the world's first regenerative organic certified hemp. This family business has been researching hemp for over 7 years with Rodale Institute, another leader in regenerative farming. Pocono has produced some of the best hemp-based and CBD products in the market today. These products are clean, powerful, and help me sleep, manage stress levels, and alleviate soreness. My favorite product is the Nano Tincture. It has high bioavailability and provides me with rapid relief across my whole body. I typically take it before a flight or whenever I'm feeling stressed. My next favorite is a salve stick for targeted relief. I'll apply the salve 1 to 3 times a day and that's it. Usually I use it after a workout, for sore muscles, or if I've strained something. I'll even put it on my temples to relax any tension in my head. Simple, clean, and effective for my sleep, stress, and soreness. Use code STEVE15 to save at PoconoOrganics.com. When do you see do you see yourself coming back to America?
I think so eventually.
America misses you.
America misses it. Yeah. Oh, it's good to be missed, I guess.
Mm.
No, we're enjoying our season there. We're enjoying our season in Cape Town. I based on the work I'm doing now, I think I might end up back in the States.
Mhm.
But I'm so glad that I've kind of got like the African bug, as they call it, just like this thing that always attracts me back there.
Mhm.
For whatever it is, because to me, speaking of the land of opportunity, I see Africa, the continent, as a land of opportunity.
Mhm.
And a lot of people see through the lens of what they read in the news that it's a land of problems, but it's actually a land of immense opportunity. And it's also going to have a disproportionate size impact on the state of global affairs in just a few decades.
Hmm.
If you just look at demographic trends. So within the trends are insane. I'll send you an article that kind of like lays all this out. But between now and 2050, there's going to be 1 billion more people in Africa.
Wow.
Between 2050 and 2100, there's going to be another billion people.
Wow.
By the end of the century, 40% of the global population will be living on the African continent.
Something that was a little confusing to me growing up is the map of the world is not actually proportional. That makes North America look about the same size as Africa, when Africa is maybe 2 or 3 times bigger than North America.
Yeah, North. You mean Canada and
Well,
you're just talking
maybe
about the States?
maybe just the States.
Yeah, I think the States in
Mhm.
landmass, it's probably a little bit is more than two times the size of the
So it's
U.S.
a lot bigger than than I was educated on. From
Yes.
just like the average school map is like Africa's the same size. It's
Yeah,
like no,
no,
it's like way bigger.
it's much bigger. It's very diverse. People think Africa is a country. It's a lot of, 54 different countries, but even within those, tons of different tribal groups and languages.
Hmm.
But again, just looking at pure demographic statistics, if the trends continue, 40% of humanity is going to live on that continent by the end of the century.
Why do you think that is? Because they're popular, because they're having so many kids.
Having so
They're
many
just-
kids.
Okay, where a lot of
Yeah.
places are
Yeah.
having less kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
So
negative growth.
negative growth.
Hey, I just wanted to jump in here and give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's podcast, B Micro, the easiest way to sneak vegetables into any meal. Due to soil depletion, GMOs, and monocropping, Americans are not getting enough nutrients. So in 2018, I founded B Micro, the first freeze-dried microgreens company in the US to help Americans get more concentrated natural nutrients into their diet. Microgreens are a phase in the plant's life when they're 14 days old and naturally the most concentrated in vitamins, minerals, nutrients, all the good things that we need. Our microgreens are grown here in the US in soil in a greenhouse. They're certified USDA organic and regenerative organic. We grow, wash, and freeze dry them to extend their 1-week shelf life to over 1 year, allowing us to ship anywhere in the US without the worry of spoilage. We have 2 flavors, broccoli, backed by over 2,000 studies on sulforaphane and its powerful detox benefits, and a blend of red cabbage, radish, and broccoli, the most potent detox formula we've tested, offering you the most bang for your buck. Easily sneak these microgreens in any meal. Eggs, smoothies, pizza, pasta, even your kids' mac and cheese, you can't even taste it. Use code STEVE15 to save at bmicro.farm.
Yeah. And in fact, like everyone's, China is so big, but the population is actually going to start declining based on how many kids people are having in almost every part of the world except Africa and I think India. So this is how things are going. And I think it's going to have a massive impact on global affairs and even people's everyday life in America, because based on how it develops. So about 80% of the world's poor could also be living in Africa by the end of the century. So if you put those two stats together, like a large population size, a large poor population size, it doesn't necessarily bode well for, like global peace, right? But at the same time, the way I view it and what has gripped me and compelled me so much is that there's so much opportunity for everything. Like the beautiful thing about Africa and entrepreneurship in Africa is that you don't need very complex solutions. You can have very basic businesses and basic solutions, and they'll scale purely based on as the population grows. You don't need another AI model or something. You don't need to have a bunch of like ML engineers like coding away or something. You could have very, very basic, simple solutions, and they could be very powerful. They could create tons of jobs. They can create tons of stability. And now with technology, you can scale much faster. So I'm really excited about the future of the continent, and I think more people in the States or whoever is listening to this podcast should actually focus on the African continent in terms of what they could do there, and in terms of expanding their business there, bringing products over, whatever it is. Because it's a host to all manner of raw materials. But it's also a host to a lot of great human capital and talent and the like. So